Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have a super easy nail tutorial for you guys. You're gonna be surprised that you literally only need a couple of products. But before we get into that, let's talk about prep. So I mentioned in my last video that I'm gonna try my best to include a lot more prep in my tutorials. That way you guys can see that we don't have to be overdoing this process. So for this tutorial, I hadn't done my nails in a while. So my last video I had recorded literally like a couple months ago, and then I took this long break, and this one is fresh. So in this video, my nails had not gotten done for at least 2 or 3 months, so I definitely had to push back the cuticles and shape that free edge a little bit better. So I am using my 4 Pro hand file in a 240 grit, and then I go in with my Stylix cuticle pusher to expose all of that new nail growth. Something that I have been incorporating a little bit more in my prep process is using these tools right here before I go in with my e-file. These tools are going to remove any of that dead skin that's stuck to your nail plate before you go in with your cuticle bit. But it does the same thing as the cuticle bit. The reason that I like to do this is if I haven't done my nails in a while, it does a really good job at getting all of that skin that might be really stuck to my nail plate, and I don't want to keep digging into my nail plate with my e-file because then I could give myself rings of fire and really hurt myself. By using these tools, I can gently start removing all of that dead skin and maybe some of that stubborn skin that doesn't want to get pushed back when I'm using my cuticle pusher. Now this tool right here, I couldn't even link it for you because I got it back when I was in nail school, but it's like a double-ended bowl or like ice cream scoop. That's kind of what it reminds me of. And it's going to do the same thing as the first tool that I was using. You can see all of that dead skin getting scooped in there. I know it's kind of gross, but that's what it's for, and that's what it does. And then after this, I do go in with my e-file, and it makes it a little bit smoother for me if I haven't done my nails in a long time. So now I'm gonna go in with my flame bit. Now, when I am doing this, you're still gonna get some of that dead skin that comes off because that is what this cuticle bit is intended to do. But what I'm really trying to aim for and focus on is that skin that we pushed back with our cuticle pusher to expose that new nail growth. I'm going to try to lift that. So that way when I go in with my cuticle nippers, it is clear as day what needs to be nipped and I'm not accidentally cutting any live tissue. So I start off by using my e-file in forward. So when you're using your e-file in forward, it's going to go from right to left. I know that that sounds backwards, but that's how it works. You put it in forward and it goes from right to left. And I'm starting from the center of my nail plate and working from right to left. That way I'm not constantly going over the same area of my nail plate to avoid rings of fire. Now, when that's all said and done, I switch my e-file to reverse, and now I'm gonna start all the way on the right side, and I'm almost tucking the flame bit under the cuticle skin. Well, we call it the cuticle, guys, but it's really not your cuticle. I know that's confusing, but all of that dead skin that we're going to nip with our cuticle nippers, I'm like tucking my e-file underneath there very, very little bit and just sort of flicking it and moving it backwards and upwards. And that way it sort of lifts that area a little bit better so that you can nip it without cutting your skin. I know that's a little bit confusing. It's so much easier to just watch me do it and you'll be like, oh, that's what she's talking about. But yeah, that's basically what I am doing with this flame bit. Once I've completed my prep, I always go in with my Carte Peel It Off base coat and I apply 2 coats of that. And then I go in with my Apres Extend Gel. Whenever I use my Apres Extend Gel, you know I'm always going to use my Una Gela Gel X tips. And all of the products that I'm using will be linked down below, or you guys can check out my Amazon storefront. So when I was doing this nail, I actually didn't apply enough of the Apres Extend Gel because there was a lot of air bubbles between my nail and the tip. So whenever that happens, you want to take the nail off, do like a fresh coat of the product on your nail. Don't just leave it like that. Go back and fix the product that you put on your nail, meaning like apply a fresh coat, and then apply more product to the back of the tip. Then you can go back and reapply this nail. This is why I always say it's so much better to start with less and then realize that you need more than to overdo it, because once you overdo it, you have gel everywhere, and we don't want this touching our skin because that's how we can get allergies. So I know that sometimes oh, I'm sorry. I know that sometimes that does happen. It's inevitable. We're human. We're not perfect, but we're just going to try to minimize that as much as possible. So start with less, and then if you realize you need more, then you can absolutely apply more product. To start the shaping and filing process, I'm going in with this Melody Susie carbide bit right here. This is an extra coarse bit, and if you've seen any of my old videos, you know that I don't normally go in with this particular carbide bit. I always use the gold one or another purple carbide bit. The reason I opted for this one in this particular situation is because, like I said, I hadn't done my nails in a really long time, and I actually got a lot closer to the cuticle area or my skin when I was applying the Gel X tip. So I wanted to try to remove as much of that tip around my cuticle area as possible without cutting myself. That way that blend or transition looks a lot more seamless, because right now it would have looked like I had press on nails that didn't fit correctly, and I was not gonna like how that looked. So I was trying to remove as much of that tip as possible, and this was just a safer option for me in the moment.
Let's go. go.
After I'm done with my carbide bit, I always like to go in with my mini sanding band right over that same area just to, again, make that transition a lot more seamless and natural looking. I do love doing this with a mini sanding band instead of a normal size sanding band because you can see so much better what you're doing. The normal size sanding band is just all of the way. You can't really get a good angle or a good view of what you're doing versus the mini sanding band is so tiny and easier to control. Like, I highly recommend using mini sanding bands if you're having a hard time with the normal size ones. Then to finish off the step, I'm going to take a little bit of acetone on a brush and go over that same area to make the transition that much more seamless. It basically melts the tip a little bit more. That way you can't see it when you're applying gel polish. Now, if you were going to use like builder gel or hard gel to really reinforce that area, then it wouldn't really matter as much if you do the acetone on a brush step. But because I'm going to just go in with straight gel polish and gel polish is so thin, I want to give myself as much of a chance to have a beautiful natural looking nail. So that's why I always do the step. To start the nail design, you want to go ahead with 2 coats of black gel polish on all of the nails. Now, I've been using Beetle's black gel polish for a really long time, and I've tried a couple of different brands. I have tried the D&D black gel polish, Model 1's black gel polish, and I think there was one more that I've tried. I think it was McCart's black gel polish, but the Beetle's black gel polish is by far my favorite one that I've tried thus far. I love the coverage. I love how easily it glides. But honestly, I love that it's a 15 milliliter bottle. I can't tell you how long I've had this bottle for, but the last bottle that I had seemed to last forever. So I just recently had to get this new one right here, and I already know it's going to last me a really long time, and I do my nails all the time to create content. So if you're looking for a good black gel polish, especially the white one, I love the Beetle's white gel polish. So this one comes in a pack of 2. You get black and white. Highly recommend it if you guys are in need of a black and white polish. Next, we are going to apply our transfer foil. So I'm going to be using this blue one right here in the middle, and I tried my best to find these transfer foils, but when I tell you guys I got them literally maybe 4 years ago, maybe longer. I cannot find them anywhere. I know I got them off of Amazon, but I just can't find this particular one anywhere. But the cool thing about this design is that you can mix and match it however you'd like. If you don't want a white if you don't want a black base, you could do a white base, you could do a pink base, and then just apply whatever transfer foil you think matches that background best. So I just wanted to do something a little bit different, and this was the look that I'm going for. Now, when you're doing your transfer foils, it is so much easier to do them on a square shape, because I don't know what I was thinking, but I had a really hard time getting the foils to transfer and not crack when I was doing the whole transfer process, because when you lay it on a stiletto or almond tip, the foil doesn't lay evenly because of the shape of the nail. So I had a lot of cracks in this design. I don't know if you can see them. I'm sure if you pay really close attention, you'll catch a couple of them. But yes, just keep that in mind if you are going to do a design like this. It's always easier to use transfer foils on a square shape. Now, if you've never used transfer foil before, here's how you do it. You want to apply the nail transfer foil glue. Do a thin coat because you don't really need a lot, and then you're going to cure that for about 45 seconds to 60 seconds. Every brand has a different curing time, so you want to read the instructions, but typically it's about 45 to 60 seconds. And after you cure it, you can apply the foil. You want to press down everywhere. And if you think you're done pressing it down, press it down again. Like, you really want to rub it in. And I have found that using your fingers to rub it in at first kind of helps, because the heat sort of helps the design of the foil stick to the glue as well. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tongue twister there. So that's why you see me using my fingers a lot before I go in with my silicone tool. Now, the reason I like to use my silicone tool as well is because my fingers alone are not going to get the job done, especially, like I said, if you're doing a stiletto or an almond nail shape. So because it's not laying evenly, the silicone tool really allows me to press down into that crease that's being formed from the foil to make sure that as much of it is being transferred as possible. Another thing that's really helpful whenever you're working with transfer foil is to cut a piece of the foil that you plan on using instead of leaving it wrapped up in the big roll. Because if you leave it wrapped up in the big roll, then a piece of the transfer foil that you never intended to use could get stuck to the transfer foil glue. And once it's on there, you got to basically like use acetone to remove the whole thing again, and it can be kind of annoying. So it's just easier to work with this tiny little piece that you plan on transferring versus trying to maneuver the big roll and then it gets in the way. Now, when I was working with this nail, I originally wanted to do the centerpiece almost like a star, but it backfired and totally didn't work out that way because when I transferred the foil on there, it didn't come out clean. Like, not every piece of the foil transferred. So I tried to fix it and actually made it worse. And I cut that part out. So I literally had to take the transfer foil glue and apply it all over that section again and just put a brand new piece of the foil over that to kind of cover what I had messed up. So let me know in the comments down below if it looks noticeable, if you can tell that I totally butchered that part of the nail, or if it still looks cute. Now that I totally redid this portion of the nail, I'm going in with some acetone just to clean up some of the edges because I do outline the entire flower. So once I outline it with the silver chrome that I'm going to show you in a bit, you really can't tell that much that it's just bits and pieces of a flower. It almost flows really nice. But again, let me know in the comments if you can tell that I had to redo this nail. Once I had all the nails covered in flowers, I went ahead and matte top coated all of them to start these chrome designs. So before I go in with any chrome, actually, I'm going to use my Makartt Sculpted gel paint. I use this for a lot of my 3D lines. I talk about this product all the time. It's this one and my Makartt Solid Nail Glue that I just can't stop using. And I like that the tubs are a decent size. Like, they're affordable and they last you a really, really long time. I ran out completely for my next design, which you'll see next week, and I was struggling to get product out. So I do have a new tub of Macart sculpted gel paint coming in soon, but I also ordered the Macart 4-in-1, I think it's called Flux glue. Don't quote me, but I have it in clear and in white. I'm really excited to use the white one so I could start doing some white 3D flowers. But anyways, back to the tutorial. So I am taking the Macart, sculpted gel paint on a 20mm liner brush and just doing lines. There was no rhyme or reason as to where I was placing these, just wherever felt right. And then what I end up doing is fully curing those and adding a liquid metallic liner gel right over it to avoid the chrome process. So you'll see that part in a second. Once I finish all of the 3D lines using the Macart sculpted gel paint, I am going to take this Born Pretty metallic liner gel and put those right over the lines. Now, this is a great option if you don't have chrome, and I do like this product. However, it's very different from your typical like gel paint or liner gel for detailed art or French lines. And what I mean by that is it's very runny. Like you put it down and it will just spurse out everywhere like water, especially if you have it on something that is a 3D design, because if it's 3D, it's raised up in the air, right? So the liquid from the metallic liner gel will just sort of flow down that 3D design that you just did and start spursing everywhere. So I do have to take that cleanup brush that you saw me use and clean up some of the areas. However, it's great if you don't want the powder from the chrome, because that is kind of annoying. It does get everywhere, and if you are not careful with how you clean it up, it can shine through certain areas of the design. So this is still a great option. I do really like this product, and I will leave it linked for you down in the description below. Once I was done with the silver, I decided that I still needed a little bit more to this design. So I go in with the Nails by Dev white liner gel, and I love this white liner gel. It's these liner gels And the Young Nails Mission Control Gel Paints, they are fantastic. I absolutely love the consistency of them because they're just so easy to work with and they glide like butter. And if you haven't tried it, you just gotta try it. So don't forget to check those out in my Amazon storefront or in the link below. And also, one other thing I forgot to mention about the Born Pretty metallic liner gels is that when you first put them down, it shimmers almost like glitter. And I know when I first used it, I was like, this is not metallic. Like, no way. But you just got to give it a second and then it'll just do its thing. And then you're like, okay, there's the chrome effect that you're looking for. So if you use a product like this, just give it a minute to stop shimmering and then it'll look a lot more like chrome. To finish off the design, I added a couple gems and some top coat, and this was the final look. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.